Welcome everyone to round 2 of May 15th Star Wars Unlimited Locals Night at Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. On this side of the board, we got Unity Rex, and on the other, we have Maul Data Vault. So before we jump into game number 1, let's discuss the decks and the leaders. Over here, we have Maul Data Vault. Once again, Data Vault is the base that allows you to bump up your minimum deck count from 50 cards to 60 cards. So if you want to use this base, once again, 50 cards is the minimum. If you want to use this base, you have to have a minimum of 60 cards in your deck. You can go over 60, I wouldn't recommend it, but you have to at least have 60. And Maul is a very interesting leader. Tap it, and then you basically give a unit overwhelm for the phase. And then he comes out on 6 resources, and then he gives everything on the board overwhelm as well. So he's a really good leader. He also gets overwhelmed on his Awakened side. This is also his hyperspace. He is a Twilight of the Republic leader. And then we have the other Twilight of the Republic leader that has been seeing some very interesting play right now, especially thanks to Unity in Purpose, the legendary double green from JTL. So anyways, we have the droid, Factory, and Captain Rex. Captain Rex states, pay 2, tap him. I believe if 1 or more units have attacked this turn, I believe it has to be exactly 2 units. You can pay 2 to make a clone trooper. He comes out on 5 resources, and when he comes out, he creates a clone trooper. And when the Droid Factory, this is a rare base from Twilight of the Republic that states on it that when you deploy your leader, you create 2 battle droid tokens. So the aspect of this deck over here is that you're going to create a lot of bodies, token bodies typically, of clones and of battle droids, and then you're just going to go Unity and Purpose on your 6th turn, and then everyone gets a +1 for every other body on the board, and then you just go that turn, swing ham, and just finish off your opponent with a lot of bodies that all are just buffed up big guys. So that's kind of the purpose of it. So typically you want to attack with your multiple guys, so you can pay the 2 to make Rex and make a clone trooper, and then you want to bring him out on 5. Then you create your battle droids. On your 6th turn, you go Unity Purpose, and you just go for the win. He's the first combo competent combo strategy we have in Star Wars Unlimited. Over here, Maul Data Vault, you're running all the really good just aggression cards. You want all the really good just stuff to get the overwhelm. And this is actually a really good deck to overwhelm into because of all the little weenies on the board. You're overwhelming into absolutely everything. So you're killing them and still doing damage to thing. And then because we agreed, you do have access to some really strong Super Laser Technician. You do have access to other green cards, but typically what you're going to do is you're just going to overwhelm into your opponent using all this. This also has like Fallen Lightsaber and Dark Saber in it as well, which you'll attach to Maul to make him this big buff, beefy guy running around with all his lightsabers and sabers, just like overwhelming everything on the board. So with that, let's get into game number 1. Our Maul player did have to take a mulligan here, and they're just finishing up their resourcing for the turn as well. Anyways, we're going to have a Gamorrean Guard. As long as you control the command unit, the Gamorrean does get to gain Sentinel. Anyways, then we have Scrum on the other side. Once again, when you come out, you heal 1 damage from your base, but then you can tap it to deal 1 damage to enemy unit on the board. So anyways, the guard is immediately just going to kill off Scrum there, so it doesn't have to become a nuisance problem. Bonding us up, then we have a phase 3 Dark Trooper coming down. And once again, Sentinel, if it does survive combat, it does get an experience token on it. Anyways, we're going to go with good old Admiral Akbar. When played, it will deal, of course, 2 damage to, for each unit that is on the board. It does that much damage to 1 unit on your opponent's side of the board. So 2 damage to the phase 3 Dark Trooper. So then anyways, did not survive combat. We do have the Overwhelm triggering as well here to immediately knock out the Gamorrean Guard here. Anyways, then we're going to be able to deal 2 damage. Oh, right, he does give a +1 to the attack as well. So when we have command, because we are double green, I'm immediately going to put the 2 experience tokens onto Admiral Akbar, and then we'll be able to immediately add that as a resource really good here because we are double green. Command typically was one of the double color cards in the first set that literally has the exact same name as a color. So anyways, we have Rex immediately coming out here, and we're going to make a clone trooper on Rex's Awakening, and then 2 battle droids on the Awakening of Rex. And then when Admiral Akbar swings in, does heal 1. We have 5 damage on the base from Mr. Admiral Akbar. Anyways, and then Rex does hit 2 damage because he does come in awakened state. Anyways, one more resource there. So all our opponent has right now is the space thing. But again, the problem here is that Unity and Purpose is basically very much now lethal. As we can see, our opponent actually has it. It's not double green, is it? Oh, yes, it is double green. For some reason, I was like, wait, is Unity and Purpose not double green? But no, it's a double green card because it actually works because you need the double green to really pay for it because it's 6 already. So anyways, we're going to do timely intervention to bring that out. Then we're going to immediately do a damage to it, and then we're immediately going to kill off the battle droid, and then immediately going to deal with the good old clone trooper as well with the 5th brother coming down as well. So that mainly means that Unity and Purpose is a little less strong. So anyways, Ackbar is immediately going to take out the 5th brother off of the board and then deal with that. Again, now we have the Retainer coming down on the board to have Sentinel, and then we're immediately going to go Poe to make an X-Wing, and then Poe could decide to attach the X-Wing if need be. So anyways, we're going to deal 3 more damage to the enemy base. So again, once again, the bodies are starting to pile up on the Unity side for Rex, which is really good. Again, the Maul player has to control off the Unity Rex side of the board. If they do not, the board state becomes near massive, and then at that point, the Unity just becomes too massive, and then every single one of these guys is swinging for mass amount of damage. As of right now, the Ackbar is already swinging for 3 damage a pop. Again, the only thing on the Maul player side of the board to help them right now is just that Sentinel in the sky, which the Black Sun fighter, which is really going to be useful right now because there's no way for them to really, well, our opponent doesn't have much in the way of space. But again, Unity Purpose is also for everything that is on the board, so that does include space as well, if I'm remembering the card text correctly. So there is a lot of damage right now, especially because if a lot of tokens just got spamming up to the board, and you go Unity Purpose, it just becomes a massive problem. Really glad to see like this type of deck did come out. Anyways, we have the Maul flip of 6/6, and he does, of course, have Overwhelm. Naturally, he does give everything Overwhelm as well on the board, and I think they all get a +1 if I'm remembering his side. I don't usually play like a lot of the leaders in Star Wars Unlimited, so a lot of this is just from a tainted memory myself. Once again, if that's wrong, you gotta correct me down in the comments. So anyways, we have the Unity in Purpose, all targeting the ground here. Anyways, we had 5 there, so everyone's going to get a +5/+5 on it, so that is basically massive for everyone on the board state here. Maul is only a 6/6. Maul is going to swing over the Retainer, but it does have to go into the Retainer here, which again would kill it because of the fact that the Retainer did get the buff as well, and the Retainer does have another command unit on the board, so it does get all of that. Here we go for all the damage coming down. So in other words, we do have a 10 there, and then we have a 1 there. So yeah, as you can see right there, that was just a massive pump of damage. Now we have a phase 3 Dark Trooper to help guard up the board state because there are still 3 more attackers that can still come through right now, especially because they all got buffed up with the Unity and Purpose. Really cool card, by the way. I was kind of knocking it when it first came out, Unity and Purpose when it first came out, but now kind of realizing like with this Rex build, yeah, it's not too bad of a card. The problem is it doesn't really see like big competitive play because there's a lot more stuff that's hyper aggressive than Unity and Purpose, and again, there's not really much we can do. As we see here, the Maul players is kind of counting it out. There's really no way for them to really deal with the board state after the Unity and Purpose play. So the Maul player scoops it up, and basically we go into game number 2. Welcome to game number 2, everyone. As we look to see the Maul player is going to be going first here. We're immediately going to tap 2. We have Kylo's TIE Silencer, really good to play there. And we're going to start off with a Battlefield Marine on the Rex side of the board. I did go check Unity and Purpose. It does give for each different named guy on the board, give it a +1/+1. Which again is really good. This is why the Unity Rex is really good, just because you'll have so many different named characters from battle droids to all of that. So we have the Retainer coming down, does have the Sentinel. We do have the 5th brother. We have a clone deserter on the board here. We do have the 5th brother effect that they're just talking about to deal the damage off of it. So anyways, just talking about that as we go see the Battlefield Marine attacking under the base for 3 here. Really good card. Battlefield Marine for a 2-drop right immediately on the board. Also with that Kylo TIE Silencer is really good as well. Anyways, we're going to have a Fallen Lightsaber over onto the 5th brother. We're just talking about whether or not what to really do with the attack with all of that. But yeah, 5th brother has a raid 1, and then he also gets a I know he has raid on him, but I think he gets a raid based on how much damage counters on him, and I know Fallen Lightsaber can do some things. Anyways, we're gonna have the Gamorrean Guard attack onto the fifth brother here as well, so we'll just kind of see what goes next. Anyways, we're then going to go Force Throw. We do have a Force unit on the board, ditching the veteran fleet officer to then immediately kill the Clone Deserter. Clone Deserter does have the tag of Bounty, draw 1 card. Anyways, really good there for off that Force Throw. So far, it looks like the game is right now going into the state of the Maul player right now. So anyways, we have fifth brother damaging out, doing the attack, and then off the effect of the Fallen Lightsaber effect as well. So we're going to go in, we're going to kill off the Battlefield Marine, we're going to take another 3, and then we're going to deal the Overwhelm there as well, another 3 there. So right now, the Unity player is definitely up the hill right now, because the game is definitely not going their way at all. Anyways, that is definitely something to think about. I think they wanted to put the price on your head into the resources. There is that Force Throw. I think they're really contemplating of what they want to do. But they're probably going to lose the fifth brother here, because I believe the Unity Rex player got initiative, so there's a good chance, that Unity Rex. So there was a reason why they put the Force Throw away. Again, there's not really a reason to have kept it in hand, especially because you're about to lose it. So Rex is going to come out. We're going to make a Clone Trooper and then a couple battle droids here. The problem is that battle droid is unique. So anyways, we're going to go another Force Throw. We're going to lose blue leader from the Unity player's hand. There's no damage to give out because there was no there was no force unit on the board to deal out damage when they pitch out the card. Anyways, we have General Darvin coming out to grid an X-Wing. That is another unit on the board with a different name. So that right now is Darvin, Droid, Rex, Clone, and so that's 5 things with different names. We're going to flip them all right now. There is a really good thing. We're going to go Command. Command is going to give +2 experience tokens to Rex. And then we're just going to decide on the other effect. Looks like they are going to return something to hand. So they're going to return a retainer to hand instead of putting in the resource. Not really a reason to resource it here. They are at the 6th threshold for unity and purpose. So we'll kind of have to see what exactly the Maul player wants to do here. Once again, Maul does have a natural Overwhelm, and he does give Overwhelm for everything on his board state as well, so it's really good there. Just a really fun leader, in my opinion. He is going to get some buffs in JTL, especially because the starter deck for Legends of the Force, LOF, is going to come out with a starter deck for Maul. So Maul is going to get a lightsaber and is going to get a whole bunch of new buffs. Anyways, we have another Fallen Lightsaber onto Maul. That Maul is now 9 on it, which is really nice. A 9 with Overwhelm. Anyways, we have another retainer. The retainer is going to be the Sentinel there. The big question of the day is what they want to do. Again, the fact is that since they do have Overwhelm, they will overwhelm. They should overwhelm 6 through the retainer. And then Fallen Lightsaber effect to then deal damage counters everywhere. That was just going to kill off those battle droids. That is, of course, from the Fallen Lightsaber effect, by the way. So those battle droids should be 100% dead. The Overwhelm will be then trigger here as well. So we are going to be doing a whole lot of Overwhelm damage as well. So yeah, that's pretty good there. Just them all overwhelming into the retainer, immediately just dealing a mass amount of damage. We are going to immediately go the X-Wing into Kylo's TIE Silencer and all of that. I'm not exactly sure why those battle... Oh, no, wait, no one is giving anybody buffs, are they? I'm not exactly sure why the battle droids aren't dead yet. Battle droids are 1/1s and not 2/2s. And Rex, I believe, doesn't give a buff at all, and Command gives experience tokens. So anyways, Darvin to immediately then swing for swing, deal the 2 damage, and he immediately comes out, and then we'll just go over them all there, and that will scoop it up. So yeah, what happened there was that our opponent, Darvin swung, makes a clone, makes an X-Wing, but the problem is our opponent just dropped the Maul, the other Maul, and then just swung into one of the little guys, basically, and then overwhelmed into it and knocked out our opponent. This only has 24 health. They were at 23, so just 1 overwhelm damage was enough to do it. All right, we're going to game number 3. We got game number 3 here, and we're going to start off with Maz. Really good there. We got a price on the head on Maz, and we got a Warzone Lieutenant. So Maz, every time you play another card, she can buff herself up by a +1 token. So she can get pretty big, by the way, if you start spamming out guys right now. So we have 2 guys on the board, a Warzone Lieutenant and, of course, Maz. So anyways, open fire on Maz. Mainly, we're going to get that price on our head, so the top card of our deck will become a resource here. Immediately, we're going to claim on the Maul side. We're going to Retainer is going to come out, and we're going to have a Warzone Lieutenant deal 2 damage to the Data Vault here. So anyways, right now the Maul player is basically 1 away from Awakening Maul and having that Overwhelm character immediately coming right out of the board and giving everything on his board state Overwhelm. So anyways, we're going to bring out a Phase 3 Dark Trooper. We got another Maul. We have, of course, then taking the initiative by the Maul player. Then we have Maz coming out. Maz getting a +1 because that's where we played the Echo. And the Echo coming out with the Coordinate getting a +2/+2 on the board. Then it was Retainer swinging in, dealing, killing off the Phase 3 Dark Trooper, and then the Warzone Lieutenant doing another 2 damage. So far, the Unity Rex side is starting to build up that board presence for Unity and Purpose. I believe this is the game where also, when the Unity and Purpose came out that turn, our opponents, I think, miscalculated the amount of damage that all the characters on the board would have dealt. So there was a chance that when we see the play, the Unity Rex player should have actually won that turn, but I think they actually go 1 more turn. I think there was just a miss on the math between the 2 players. So anyways, we're going to have Echo hit Maul for 3 damage. We did see the veteran fleet officer come out, make an X-Wing token. We're going to have Maul. Maul is going to swing in for his mass amount of damage. He's immediately going to die off to that Warzone Lieutenant, which is really good because then not everything has Overwhelm. Captain Rex paying the 2 to make a Clone Trooper because 2 things did swing that turn. And then we're going to immediately have another Clone Trooper and another Battle Droid. So right now, Unity Purpose only really counts one of those. By the way, that X-Wing is a Clone Trooper. It just happens to, they just ran out of Clone Trooper tokens. So anyways, we have Captain Rex swinging the 2 damage here. The problem now is that there is a lot here. So you'd have, well, you'd only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different names on the board because you can't count the Clone Troopers because that's not a unique, not a different named character. That is just a Clone Trooper. And there was, anyways, on the Maul side, we do see a Darth Vader there, Phase 3 Dark Trooper to help defend the board. But again, not really great when the Unity and Purpose basically is coming out this turn. And giving everything a massive buff onto the board state because there's 5 different unique named characters onto the board here. So anyways, we're going to do out a Maul, and we're immediately going to ambush. We're going to knock out Captain Rex there, take back 2 damage, and then we're going to have Unity and Purpose come on down to the board, and then we're going to get a buff to everyone on up to it. So anyways, we're going to have the Ruthless Raider. Again, we're going to have the Ruthless Raider knock out the X-Wing, then it's going to immediately die to do more damage to the base and 2 more damage to something on the ground. We're then going to swing in with the good old veteran fleet officer for the damage right there. And then we're going to have, of course, then everything else. So they're just kind of calculating it out. This is where they actually did mess up the math there. They actually did have the win there. Also, by the way, there is missing 2 damage off of that Ruthless Raider onto a unit, but not that it really would matter because, again, calculating wise, so anyways, we're going to have a Battle Droid just knock out Maul here. Again, they could have won the game based on everything they had on the board state instead of going after the Maul, but there was a conversation of whether or not it would be better to actually have the Maul and just secure to make sure the Maul doesn't come out and overwhelm into your little weenies, because these are tokens and not very strong, and Maul would have had mass overwhelm damage. So anyways, we're just going to pass on that, and we're going to immediately draw the 2 cards there. Once again, I believe this was the turn that 100% the Unity player, Unity Rex, could have actually won the game there. The math just apparently wasn't there. That was there. Me and a judge there that's a local was talking about it. But anyways, the Unity and Purpose did get burned out, so there's no more Unity and Purpose right now. So all they have is 2 Clone Troopers, a good old thing. So anyways, we're going to go Darth Vader here. So we've got Battle Droid, 2 Clone Troopers, and the Veteran Fleet Officer. We have Darth Vader coming down. I think the only target I see in there is the Super Laser Tech. And Darth Vader then going to be able to swing in. The problem is his ambush will not allow him to get them all abilities. So immediately we're going to attack over, and we're going to swing over that Battle Droid, knocking it out of existence. And then we're going to have 2 damage come in from a Clone Trooper, pushing up that threshold there just for a little bit more damage there, just trying to get the win overall. So anyways, the base is at, right now, 26 damage of 33 health. Again, or maybe it's next turn. I know there's a turn here in the game where they could have actually done the math. I think they were talking a little bit about the math of how things are going. I think math, is hard, kids. Math sometimes is quite hard these days. So anyways, I think there was a conversation about last turn when they had the unity and purpose about all the damage, because I believe this is it pretty much. They're just kind of discussing last turn's unity and purpose swing, how much damage would have actually gone through at that time frame, for all of unity and purpose, and everything, kind of figure out what exactly had it. But again, because the Ruthless Raider could have, because it's only a +1/+1 for the phase, the Ruthless Raider should have actually had one more body off the board. So I think, honestly, what they're kind of deciding is the fact that, yes, my opponent only had a health point left on them, and basically we have Maul's coming down for 1, and then we have one more for Darvin, and then there's really no way for the Maul player to really win from this point. Yeah, they drew into, they did draw into Overwhelming Barrage, but the thing is, Overwhelming Barrage, even on a Vader, only does up to 7 damage, so I mean, that is enough to try to nuke off most of the board state, but it can't kill off, it won't be able to physically kill off everybody. So yeah, that is pretty much it there for that one. When they did the Unity and Purpose turn, they did have actually enough damage to actually physically win the game there and then. But yeah, I think Unity Rex is actually a really cool strategy here, because then you just make a bunch of bodies. You can at least 5 different named bodies on the board. You get that, then you get all that plus, and everyone gets a plus on it, and then you just go bam, shamalama with all your guys all over the board. Yeah, we missed the Ruthless Raider, which would have been able to deal with 2 guys off of the board. I don't think it would have been even enough, but it would have helped a little bit more with the threshold, because then the Vader could have swung over and killed Darvin and all that. But yeah, nonetheless, this deck is still really cool. Not meta relevant or anything like that, but a really cool strategy, just because I really like the idea of what Unity Rex can do. Just bring out a bunch of bodies, and they just go Unity and Purpose. All the bodies swing, and I just punch my opponent in the face for death. And yeah, the Maul deck, I think, is going to see a lot more play in the upcoming meta, because of all the stuff that buffs up Maul in the starter deck for LOF, or Legends of the Force. But still, cool deck. I mean, Overwhelm should be feared 100%, especially against like Unity Rex, where everything is little bodies. So punching over and doing almost like 6 to 5 Overwhelm damage at any one turn is extremely, extremely lethal. So yeah. Let me know your thoughts, guys, down in the comments on the gameplay. Also, in the description is a link to Valkyrie Vault's webpage, so you guys can find the Discord server, so you can get into the Discord server, check out the store, join the Star Wars Unlimited Discord server. Once again, Thursday nights, 6 o'clock, $5. You walk away with a promo pack and a pack, and at least 1 pack of the current set, with more packs being awarded for 1st through 3rd. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the gameplay. Do you like Unity Rex? Do you like Maul? Do you think Maul's going to get more buffs with Legends of the Force? Let me know all of that down in the comments. And while you're commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you can notify when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time. I'm Dragons, TCG.